All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Set and Forget podcast. So this is going to be a little bit different. You guys know I always like switching it up. For the past, I want to say 5-6 episodes, I've been having, traders on here, very well-known traders. I switched it up a little bit. I had a female on, and then now I'm going to have something completely different. I have here Nick, a very, very special attorney, not only to me, but to the whole entire Forex community. And we're here to ask him just some advice when it comes to just, trading knowledge and his experience with dealing, with Forex traders and how he goes about his business. I know he's involved in many other different ventures. So I want to ask him, some questions, some experience. And then what would he kind of give us, some advice when it comes to either future business or, how we go about it. So thank you, Nick, for having us here.
Yeah, thanks, Alex, for having me, dude.
How's everything? So we were talking about a little bit before we got on here. So for you guys that don't know, I have the roles. Nick is, might get a rose for himself, a little bit of a exposure. He was kind of thinking about that.
Huge fan of the roles. Gangster car.
We were sitting in the back, and this is just shows you like the power of knowing the law. He gets in the back and he's like, bro, like, did you know you could drink in this? And I'm like, bro, what do you mean you can't drink in a car? He's like, yeah, bro, this is actually an extended wheelbase. So what was the term? What were you saying? Like, how come I could drink in the car?
When it is, and one of the reasons they do the extended wheelbase is it's now considered a limo. So you could have a driver and you could actually have drinks in the back of the car versus a regular wheelbase car, which you're not allowed to have an open container.
That's like, you told me and I tripped down, like, all right, my bad,
Yeah.
I had no idea.
I think I saw you thinking about the champagne bottles you're going to bring in.
Yeah, something like that.
You're planning the glasses, the bottle.
Well, my model, I think if I would have like added something to it, it comes with like the whole entire fridge and stuff.
I've seen it.
Yeah. I know Raul's dad's new one has it. He has the fridge, the champagne, the whole
thing. I think you could add it.
Yeah, I could add it. But he got like the top spec. You get me? He got like the 2022, cost him like 400,000. So I'm
sick.
Like,
is it a Ghost as well or the Phantom?
Ghost extended wheelbase as well.
Ooh.
Yeah, same thing with a crazy interior.
Classy.
Super classy. So talk to me, Nick. Today we're going to talk about a couple of things, and I want to start off with, so you're an attorney for Forex, right? So like Forex traders. So talk to me a little about like your journey as an attorney, and just give us some of your knowledge, bro.
Yeah, short and sweet, man. I'm an attorney for entrepreneurs, Forex traders, anyone who's a hustler or owns a business, right? Kind of my journey, I graduated at FIU Law. And as I was graduating in my third year, I always knew I was an entrepreneur. I've been trading since about 2012. I traded all through college. I even traded through law school, which my grades probably show that I was on the charts some days when I shouldn't have been, right? And the third year of law school, it was a funny story. I was talking to one of my buddies and he goes, hey, we're getting jobs. What kind of salary do you want? What kind of jobs are you looking for? And we started looking at, the jobs we could apply to. And we started doing this formula. And I'm like, okay, how much does an attorney charge, right? Most new attorneys, they charge like $300,000 or no, $300 an hour.
Okay.
Right. And each law firm, they tell you their hour requirement for the year when you're applying to law firms.
Okay.
Because attorneys they bill by the hour. So I saw most law firms are somewhere between 1,900 hours a year and 2,000.
All right, what's up, guys? So an update on the $100 account that I'm flipping to $5,000. As you guys can see here, it's the exact same account number. This is the same account that I posted in Cuebanks' podcast, basically where I was saying that I'm going to deposit $100 and then flip it to $5,000. So far, I am up a total of $1,170. If you guys want the login credentials to this account, the description will be below. And if you want to enter the giveaway of whenever I flip this account, make sure to sign up with the link below and make sure to watch the journey of all of these trades that I take in this account. Yes, this is a live account. So if you guys want to check out all of the trades that I'm taking, make sure to sign in with the credentials below. Let's go. That they will hire you for.
That's the hours you have to bill every year.
So you have to work that amount of hours.
Sometimes it takes longer because some of your work is not billable.
Oh, shit.
So it's how many hours you actually have to charge to make the firm.
Oh,
they require 1,900 to 2,000.
Okay.
And I said, okay. I was like, pretty simple math. How much are they offering you as a new attorney? They're offering you $100K salary. You walk out as a brand new attorney. And that's like right in the middle. And I said, okay, wait, they're offering me $100K. I have to bill 2,000 hours and they're charging for my time $300 to $350. Wait, they're making $700,000 off of me and I'm making 100,000. I was like, this isn't adding up.
Yeah, simple math.
So the guy who was going to be my future partner, him and I sat in this class called Professional Responsibility, last class you take, and we did the math, and we said, hell no, we're opening our own law firm.
Oh shit.
That's how I knew I was an entrepreneur. I was like, yo, I have to do it myself.
How old are you when all this happened?
Had to be 26 going on 27.
How old are you now?
32.
Okay.
Yeah. So, bro, we decided right then and there, I'm like, let's make a deal. Let's start our own law firm. We could do it. Even if we spent half the time finding clients and half the time billing, we're still making triple what our colleagues are going to make.
Oh, wow.
And we get to decide the work ourselves. So boom, we branched out. As soon as we graduated law school, we both passed the bar, became attorneys, went and started our own law firm.
So as soon as you graduated, you opened your own firm. No actual street experience, nothing.
Well, I was interning for 2 years already.
Okay. Fair enough.
I got the benefit of some really cool experience that my attorney who I worked for, he had this huge case where it was about building hedge funds.
Okay.
So for 2 years, I worked on a case with a actual hedge fund manager, guy who manages $750 million.
Sheesh.
And the professor of Delaware Law School's hedge fund department. And they basically spent their time training me how to deal with hedge funds and transactions for this case. So I turned around 2 years later and I was like, oh, I know this. I got this. I'm going to go out and be able to offer this to people. Mm-hmm. And we graduated, opened our own law firm. It was me and my partner at first. We were hustling, trying to find clients, reaching out to anyone we knew who had a business and saying, hey, do you need legal work? What kind of legal work do you need? Do you need a contract? Do you need, us to do your organization? Are you making a deal with anyone we could help out? And bro, just hitting the ground running. And eventually we got a few clients, right? Got a few clients under our belt. There was times where things were rough, bro. For the first year of my law firm, didn't tell anybody. We hired a receptionist. I hired a paralegal. There was times where I had to go out and Uber at night.
No shit.
Yeah. Just because I wanted to make sure our receptionist could get paid. We were paying our rent, grinding it out,
So you would say your first year was more of like a break-even trial and error?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
We had clients who started relying on us, right? Reached out to people who we thought we could get. And it worked out well, man. The second year, we ended up getting some clients. And we were strictly a business law firm, man. Business only. We thought about going personal injury because the money's there.
Yeah, of course.
You get these cases, boom, quick money. But my partner and I talked and I said, dude, in business, you build relationships and these people grow with you for life. We're young. We got time to grow this. And in personal injury, it's a one-time flip. You get a person and, you're done with them, bye, pass you on to the next. And I like the relationship business. I like being able to build and grow with my clients. So we did that. About a year later, we ended up hiring a second attorney, got more clients. And it was that second year where I kind of reached out and actually reached out to Q. Mm-hmm. I called Q and I was like, hey, dude, I've been watching what you're doing in the markets, watching what you're doing in business. I was like, I've been kind of doing the same, but in my industry. Mm-hmm. Let's connect. Mm-hmm. And yeah, he came over and that's kind of how we joined up. So after that, we ended up building that law firm to me, my partner, and 3 associate attorneys, a 5-attorney firm. Mm-hmm. We're working with businesses. We did trademarks, contracts, leases, purchases of businesses, acquisitions and mergers. And we got an offer from this larger law firm called, I won't name them actually.
That's fine. Yeah, don't name them.
It's better.
Yeah, don't name them.
They're in the Gables and they said, hey, we like your book of business. Would you guys want to merge? We'll buy you out.
So when they buy you out, they buy your clients out?
Yep.
So, and I'm guessing they put you on a non-compete that you can't work with these clients, or how does that work? Like if they buy you out, or now, do you work for that firm now?
I work for that firm. In the law, you cannot really do non-competes because the client has the choice to pick their own lawyer.
Of course.
So it's very different from other businesses where you can. In the law, it's like, no, if the client wants to go with you, they can. Period. Okay. So we brought our entire book of business over there. They ended up making me and my partner the partners of that firm as well.
Okay.
I got this dope office. They're like, hey, pick your desk, pick your chair. We're going to build out your office. boom, I got a nice window overlooking the city. And about a month in, I was already representing Q and Anthony, and we had a conversation, and I told them, I was like, hey, we should structure the business this way. And they're like, dope, you should do it. And I was like, okay, I want to, but I want a part of this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was like, I think we should join together. I was like, the way we can run this as an actual corporation, taking our technology side to the next level. They thought that was dope. So we had a few conversations. We negotiated our agreements. I had already been representing Q for about 2 years, 3 years. Anthony already for about 1 to 2 years. And we decided to join forces, man. One of the best decisions I made.
Yeah, of course.
But I had to break the news to this firm that just hired me, made me partner, did the whole photo shoot, announced me as one of the me and my partner as one of their partners of the firm. And I called him and I said, hey, Pat, thank you guys. You guys have been amazing, bro. This is dope. I'm getting almost everything I want, but I have an opportunity I can't give up.
Yeah, once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah. That's kind of how I said it.
Yeah, of course.
I was like, yo, like, I don't know where this is going to go. You know, this is new. This is something we're building, but I'm willing to bet the bank on it, right? I was like, I'm going to put sweat and tears into this. I'm down. And I was like, I would feel silly if this tech company ends up becoming, I don't want to say the next Apple, but one of like these tech companies that just make something of themselves. And I think we could grow it. So I told them that, and luckily they were super cool.
Okay.
Pat tells me, he goes, look, man, Nick, we're not here to get in the way of anybody's success. If you feel like that's where your success is, chase it.
And then, so that didn't do a like conflict of interest because they just bought you out. Like you still got bought out. You gave your partner the percentage again, and then you could go on and do your own thing.
Exactly.
Because they were just going to hire you as a salary on top of whatever you got bought out for.
Not just the salary, but an equity portion of profits
of the firm. So that you decided, I don't want no more of that equity. You'd rather build it up. That's pretty cool that you say that, because you basically built up the first firm with your partner. Sold it, or sold your portion of it, and now you built up again another one. So like you're willing to take that risk, which is pretty dope to me. That's pretty dope.
I kind of like the entrepreneur route.
Yeah, of course.
And a lot of our firm and a lot of the work we did was for entrepreneurs, which is why I kind of feel it when I'm like, oh, we are an entrepreneur firm. Well, I was an entrepreneur firm, because I have that hustle in me, and I like people who take that risk and they're willing to bet on themselves to say, yo, I'm going to create something. Because those are really the innovators, right? The people who take things to the next level, who are willing to play that game and say, man, it's risky, but I'll make it happen.
Yeah, I'll give it to Q. He's very creative in his space. He's very creative, and he's top of the game right now where he is right now. Like obviously to now, obviously, like I have an audience, Raul has an audience. There's many traders that have an audience, but I definitely feel like, aside from Astro, I definitely feel like Q and Ryan, the whole entire FIP crew, I feel like they set a stone for just traders in general to set like a certain standard. You get me?
Yeah.
And I will always look up to Q for that. So that's pretty crazy that you went straight to like the top dog. You get me?
Yeah.
In the whole entire Forex space, and you've been trading before, so it kind of made sense.
Yeah.
So when you guys did this, you guys like you no longer could work with private clients. You just strictly stayed with Q and Anthony, and you can no longer bring other clients, or you could still get involved with other clients that hit you up on the side?
No, I talked to them and I said, dude, I want to focus on this. I think what we can build is something huge. Q's got huge influence, and he's already making waves. Anthony's the same. And I was like, yo, you guys, if we do this as a corporation, imagine the organization we can build. And we put ourselves together, and I kind of wrote off being able to represent anyone else. Now, do I help people in the industry? Do I talk to other Forex traders? Do we connect and say, like, how do we take it to the next level? Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Even Q and Anthony give me a call sometimes. They're like, hey, help my boy out with this.
Yeah, it's something that like I thought of like one day out of nowhere, and I'm like, bro, nobody's doing this. So you know what? Let's just get to it. And then, bro, the numbers have been speaking for themselves. You get me?
They definitely have.
Yeah, it's just natural growth. So I mean, like I want to be that guy that I wish I had when I started trading. You get me? Like give like those questions that I didn't get. Like that I would ask, and then I wasn't getting the answer to. So I try to ask the questions that maybe a user out there, listening out there, could have. I want to be that guy to give them the answer. You get me? So that's why I'm trying my best to help out as much as I can.
I think that's the entrepreneur spirit, though. You're saying with just questions, you're like, I see something people need. How do I provide it?
Yeah.
Bro, that's the entrepreneur
That's lit.
spirit.
I didn't even think of it like that. That's dope.
Yeah, bro, everybody, you see a problem and you're like, oh, I can provide a solution.
Yeah. What's the solution to it?
Yeah.
So what we're talking about problems, what would you say would be one of, what you could speak on? What would be one of the crazier problems you came in, or, issues that you came in within your business? Like, is there any like crazy story, like legal, like when you were on the business side, is there any like crazy business story you have or something you want to disclose?
For legal clients, it's always it's always interesting because lawyers are not the first person you contact, right? They're expensive. They're pains in the ass because they always cite the law to you, and they make everything difficult.
Okay. Yeah, they do. I've spoken to attorneys before, and they hit you all these legal terms, and I'm like, you haven't told me anything. Like
nothing. They never give you the answer.
I ask you, what day is it? Well, according to whatever the calendar, I'm like, bro,
according to this calendar.
Yeah, and it's like, bro, what day is it? But okay, go ahead.
Yeah, just so clients will contact you, and they'll wait till the last minute to reach out to you.
Okay.
And the craziest thing about lawyers is you have to come into a problem that's maybe 3 months deep. You don't know the emotions. You don't know anything of it. And you got to fix it, and quick. Because with the law, the costs start going up real quick. A problem could be...
Oh my God, fucking fire alarm.
There's fire.
Fucking fire alarm.
Bro. May I have your attention,
We gotta
please?
wait, bro. Fuck.
May I have your attention, please? There has been a fire alarm report.
All right, we're gonna continue because the fire alarm just finished. So go ahead, continue where you were.
Yeah. So with the law, though, some of the problems could be really simple, but by the time the client's held on to it, they've blown it up. It's about to boil over. So you catch a problem already on the tail end. It's in the 11th hour, and the client says, "Save me." You're like, oh, you got to come in, fix the problem. I'm not a litigator. So I'm a transactional attorney, like in-house general counsel. So I usually try to save problems before they end up in the court. Because once you get to the court, it's going to cost everybody a ton of money. It's going to cost everybody time, the headaches of depositions, all the paperwork that you have to do. So being a lawyer is interesting for that reason.
Yeah, because basically once shit hits the fan, basically that's when they call you to fix it, and they expect you to fix it within the week. Like, so, figure it out.
Exactly.
So they
never call you like, hey, it's on its way to the fan. Maybe someone should do something about it. They let the shit hit the fan. It sprays across the room, and they're like, yo, save me.
Yeah, like, yo, pick it up or do something. Right? Yeah. And then it's your fault because you let it hit the fan at one point. Then they'll probably point the finger at you.
No, actually, the one thing I do see is that clients are super grateful when you do save them.
Of course.
They're like, oh my God, thank you so much. And they're super grateful, super grateful, super grateful. And then they see your bill.
Oh.
And they're just like, what the heck happened? And I was like, all that time we spent fixing this, right? I was like, it costs money.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But is there any scenario where you hit them with the bill and then you can't get it, or like you have to like go after them for that, or is it like they always have to pay up?
Yeah, they always do have to pay up, and most of your clients pay. Obviously, just like every business, some clients are a little more hesitant to pay. But I like to charge my clients fairly, right? I'm like, hey, look, I did spend all this hours, but it seems a little expensive for the problem you had. We'll work on your bill together, right? I'm more of a reasonable attorney. I like negotiation, so I like something that's fair. And I always tell my clients, and this is something I told most people, I'm like, I prefer to build with you than to fix what you're breaking. So bring me on ahead of time. Let's work together and let's resolve this. Let's tidy things up. Let's organize and let's grow together. And
then you want the client for longevity. You don't want to just get him for one time a big bill and then you never hear from him ever again, right? You want to like build that relationship.
Exactly. There's a lot of lawyers that are like that.
Yeah. So I mean, I kind of asked you this earlier, like regarding a new entrepreneur, right? I'm an entrepreneur. I surround myself with many great people. I'm very grateful and thankful to be around the people that I am. They've helped me learn many, many great things. To what you could disclose, what recommendation or what advice would you give anybody going into business or just surrounding yourself in certain situations? Or any advice you could kind of give, like when it comes to either certain type of businesses or certain documents you shouldn't sign beforehand or afterhand, or like what could you disclose?
Yeah. Let's think about it, right?
Yeah.
If you're a new entrepreneur, man, a lot of people start their entrepreneurial journeys as a hobby. They kind of set it off and they're like, hey, look, I got this idea. I'm going to get it started, right? They'll do something as like a side job, maybe while they're working somewhere. They'll start selling something either on the internet or at a store, and they'll start just grinding. And the best advice I can give people, and what I tell everyone is, start an LLC and start it early. It's just like getting a line of credit as a person. An LLC is essentially, it's a separate entity from who you are. It's its own person. The US actually considers most companies a person. Has its own social, which is the EIN.
The EIN, yeah.
And you can start building your business credit from now. So even if you're an employee, right? You start your company, you shift over certain expenses into your company. So now your company's doing some transaction history. And you're going to notice after a few months, you're going to start getting credit card offers.
Yeah.
Amex is going to say, hey, dude, you want $10,000 for your business? Do you want $20,000 to run your business? And there's so many entrepreneurs I've met who have been like, man, if I just had $10,000, if I had $20,000, I'm like, start your business. Banks hate lending to people.
Really?
They do, because people spend money.
Okay.
Right? If I lend to you personally, what are you going to do? I give you a credit card, people consume. They're consumers. So they go out, they're like, oh, new TV, dope. New shoes, jeans, clothes, even daily expenses. Once that's consumed, it's gone. But they like lending to businesses because businesses have to spend that money on business expenses. And business expenses, business assets, that's to grow your revenue. So lenders prefer lending to you as a business because they just know you're trying to make more money with that money. And later on, they have a larger client.
And then it's not even that, I'm assuming, since you're buying something for the business, it's something tangible potentially. Yep. So like if anything, whatever worst comes to worst, they can go and maybe grab what you have. So they feel more comfortable giving it to a business. Let's say you're gonna go buy an office space or whatever the case is, they'll take over the office space if you don't pay back the debt or whatever. Yeah.
Or they'll take the furniture. Like if you spend $100,000 on furniture, they know exactly where it's at. It's at your office. you don't pay your bill. The repo, the furniture repo people are coming.
So get an LLC. What else? What could you kind of? Because I mean that's pretty interesting. Like if I would have known that, I opened up my LLC. About to be like 2 years now, and nice. Bro, I want to say like first month. Oh, you have $300 worth of credit. Just apply here. Whatnot. It's true. It's true where you're saying.
They give it to you,
and I'm like, shit. I could really get $300K right now. You know what I could do with $300K? I never really did it. I don't know. Like I'm not well educated, with the pros and the cons from that, maybe interest rates and stuff like that. But that's true. What else would you recommend other than an LLC? That's a great point, by the way.
Well, a lot of people say so debt. A lot of people have the misconception debt is bad. It's not. It's actually really good when used the right way. Consumer debt, horrible, bro. You're spending money that's never coming back.
Agreed.
Asset debt, business debt, that's just leveraging your skills for the better. So if you're going to take that $300K loan, right? Let's assume it comes at a 8% interest rate,
which is not bad.
It's not bad for a business loan, standard. But let's say you have a business idea that you can almost assure yourself is going to make you 12.5% on that $300K. So if you're telling me I pull out $300K, pay 8% a year, but make 12%,
you got cash flow.
I'm making 4% on nothing.
Free money.
Yeah. And that's what a lot of like larger developers, you're just leveraging your skills. So that's when I say to take out. You said a second thing that I would recommend, man, learn just a little bit about contracts.
Okay.
Because he who controls the contract controls the deal.
Agreed.
Bro, it's I'm always more comfortable when I enter a deal because I know what's in the contract and I wrote the contract.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm like, oh, trust me, we're on my playing field. Make the adjustments you want, but we're already playing my game.
Yeah.
Right? Like if what sport do you like playing?
Basketball. I'm a nasty basketball player. I'm short, but I'm pretty nasty.
Nasty.
Yeah.
I like basketball too.
Yeah.
But let's say I invite you and you're like, yo, we want to see who's the most athletic of us. And I'm like, all right, we're definitely going to play soccer. And we agree to play soccer. You can make whatever adjustments you want, but we're already playing on my game.
Yeah, of course. Okay.
So the disadvantage is there. And it's kind of like that in a contract.
Yeah, I could get the best shoes. I could get the shirt, the headband, but I'm not playing my sport. You get me?
Exactly. And lawyers have that as a technique, right? If before you argue the facts, you argue the law. And before you argue the law, you argue the procedure. So you're just like, if you ever get filed in a lawsuit, this isn't even the right lawsuit. Please dismiss this, Your Honor. Oh, this is the right lawsuit? All right, well, they're not even right on the law, Your Honor. Please dismiss this. Oh, they are right on the law? Well, I disagree with the facts that they're saying.
That's so crazy to me.
Yeah, so before you argue that the substance of something, attack it on procedure. And that's the way deals are. Before we know, like, what's the actual deal we're negotiating, right? What deal do we have? I wrote the deal. So I know it's a good one that works how I like to do deals.
Of course.
So learn a little bit about contracts, right? Do you know the basics? At least the basics for a lawyer, the essential terms. You know, you got to put your name on it. You got to put how much is being paid, right? Who's paying who, and when that payment. That's always important, right? Yeah, I'll pay you $500K for a Rolls Royce, but in a year from now.
So I'll get the Rolls Royce now. I don't have to pay you until then.
Exactly.
That's the fine print on the contract.
It is.
Yeah.
And then what's the bargained for exchange, which is a cool term lawyers use.
What do you mean?
What is it that we're actually exchanging? What is the thing, right? Like, why are we doing this deal? I pay you $100,000. What am I getting? That's the bargain for exchange. And if people focused on that in contracts, a lot of entrepreneurs would get better.
Okay.
A lot.
Interesting. And then what would you not recommend? Like, let's say, is there like a red flag whenever you read a contract that you see? Is there certain things to look out for when reading them? Because like I've been presented multiple contracts, right? Well, for example, to disclose, I own an Amazon store, right? I own 2 Amazon stores.
Dope.
Yeah. So I took my time reading that thing. Because like whenever I read a contract, I either call my attorney or I read it myself. And I always highlight anything that I see that I didn't like, right? So I mean, there was some things in there that I didn't understand, right? I'm educated to a certain extent. You get me? Like you tell me some words and I'm like, please elaborate. Like what are you trying to say? So like I personally, whenever I come across those certain things, I've been in the room with people where they just are, I know, but whatever, they're friends of us, they're gonna sign. And like I don't recommend that. I think like when you're doing business with people, you're doing business. I wouldn't put friends and business together, especially with a contract in place.
Once it's on paper, it's there.
So once you sign, you're screwed basically. There's no going back. What would you say would be a red flag in one of these contracts? If you could maybe point out one that you've had in the past, or
hundreds of red flags.
Yeah, I know, I could imagine.
Committing to payment terms that you know are going to be hard to do.
Yeah, of course.
That's always one. And then penalties, man.
Penalties.
Always watch out for the penalties, dude.
Okay, yeah.
Because people, penalties are how people get leveraged into doing things they didn't want to do. Right? If you fail or you're going to be late on something, and dude, running businesses, sometimes payments are late. Cash flow is a working game. So if you have penalties that could put you out of business, man, negotiate those penalties. It's always huge.
Don't over leverage.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, because like if you're going all in and then if you don't make the payment, you're now negative. You're basically screwed.
Yeah,
they're gonna take over.
Don't bet the bank in one deal either.
Yeah. Unless you're doing business with Q, how you said earlier.
Yeah, that one, I was like full leverage. You know, I sent 100 lots. I was like, I'm betting on these guys.
I love that, bro. Final suggestion you would recommend to any viewers out there when it comes to just business, trading, life, anything in general?
Oh, man, that's a good one. Something wide.
Yeah, something
broad.
Something broad. You have a lot more experience than I do. You're a lot older than I am. I'm very grateful, by the way, for you coming out here giving us all these tips. And you know, we've talked on the side as well.
Thank you for throwing the word "a lot" in there. Like a lot older.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. he could almost get Medicare, Medicaid. But anyways.
Oh man.
Nah, bro. Nick is he's on the money. What would you recommend out there, just based off your experience?
Dude, if you're passionate about something and you're good at something, start a business about it. Start a business about it and start it early. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a grind. But if you make it past that second year grind, your clients just start trickling in and then they start pouring in. And then at some point, you're going to have to hire people to handle the clients that are coming in for you. As long as you build a good reputation, you have a good reputation, man. That's probably what I think is the most important thing in business. Good reputation and customer client service, dude. When people know that they come to you, are they going to get what they're asking for and what you've promised? I think that's probably, to me, the difference between successful entrepreneurs and not successful. And it's really what I tell a lot of lawyers too. I'm like, you're lawyering too much and your clients don't get that. Your clients are coming to you because they want to problem solve. They're worried. They're scared for their business. And you're sitting here and you're like, well, the facts of this case are, well,
You're being too politically correct.
Yeah, you're too lawyerly sometimes.
Too lawyerly, okay, yeah.
And sometimes you just got to understand and be like, yo, I get what you're saying, bro. Like, I even break it down. I'm like, bro, I get what you're saying. Chill. Let's do it like this. Let's kind of get it. And people feel like, they're like, hey, dude, he's a lawyer, but he's a human.
Yeah.
And I turn around and I call opposing counsel. They're like, Mr. Castillo, how's it going? And I'm like, hey, Doug, how are you doing, bro? Because do you know me? I'm like, no, man, but call me Nick. Doug, we got a problem here. We're here to resolve it. Let's talk to each other. We don't need to posture. Let's get past this. And people appreciate being kind of that human approach. And I actually have a line that I love telling lawyers.
What is it?
And I heard this. I don't know where I picked it up. I picked it up a few years ago. And being a transactional attorney, basically what that means, right? I know we're wrapping up, is that I close deals and I see them through. And a lot of times, man, some of these contracts are 30 pages and we got to go through every part of it, right? We're worried about every single word and every clause. And some lawyers will argue over some of the smallest thing. They'll argue for days about it. And the chances of it happening, 1%. But they'll spend 90% of the time negotiating it. And I always say, I'm like, hey, give them a call. And they start getting really into it. And I'm like, do not let the law get in the way of good business. Do not let the law get in the way of good business. We have to be good on the law. We're lawyers. It's our job. But if it takes us 10 days to negotiate this, the business people are already moving on.
To somebody else.
Next problem, new person. We're going to mess this deal up for our clients. The opportunity to strike is now. So, don't let the law avoid all risk. Business owners are business owners because they're taking that risk. Let's advise them what the risks are and move forward, man. Push forward. And I think that helped me gain a lot of success in business because business owners call me even when their lawyers are like that. They're like, Nick, what do you think? I'm like, I think you should take the risk. I think you should go for it. The contract's not perfect, but it's good enough. Chances of that problem happening are very little. Go for it, dude. And I think that's kind of that's also the advice, right? Go for it.
Yeah, go for it. That's fucking crazy, bro. Yo, Nick, I appreciate you coming on here, dropping all these gems. I hope to see you on another episode.
I'd love to.
Coming back. I mean, this is his first podcast. I think you did great. You said you did very great on a podcast, right?
No, haven't. I've been invited to a few, but I figured this one was cool when it started.
Oh, so you denied them. You came to this one. Oh, shit. I feel special. Thank you so much, Nick, for hopping on, for dropping all these gems. And I'll see you on the next one. Thank you, Nick.
All right. Thanks, dude.
Take it easy.
Appreciate it, Alex.